Hey guys, Todd from COSN coming at you again today. Hey, so I had some subscribers write into me and they asked me about my shop and some setups that I have in the shop. So I thought today would be a great day to do kind of a walk through the shop, show you guys what I have and the different setups that I use. Now, this shop I've been working on for about 10 years. I've actually built the entire shop. The only thing I did not do was pour the concrete. I actually set all the forms, I set the rebar, and actually had the concrete poured, and everything else I built. This is kind of a Quonset hut style. It is not the half moon, but it is like an H-frame style. So it utilizes the same corrugated steel on the outside, which are the supporting walls. But I did build this entire thing just like this H-frame crane behind me I actually built, and most everything in the shop actually I built out of either scrap or things that I found. I also wanted to let you guys know too that I did pick up a couple sponsors off of the bug out vehicle blazer build, and it's Drex, and they sent me some equipment and gear that I'll be going over also later on, and it's a great product sponsor, if you will. And I'll be doing some tips and tricks with the gear that they sent me also along in the series. So hey, let's go take a look at the shop. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this side of the shop and work my way around. Now this is my metal storage area, and I've got kind of a system going on that helps me and speeds things up. I've built everything, pretty much everything basically in this shop. So I built this rack set. I also built, everything you see here. So I've got my 10-footers here, I've got my 1-foot, 2-foot steel here, my bits of steel, and I also got my 5-foot rack over here. I've also got down here is a kind of a catch-all system. Heavy stuff goes down on the bottom, or just fragments that I have of flat steel. So this is my metal storage area, and let's move on to the flat rack. Alright guys, so this is my flat rack system for flat steel. Basically all it is a set of shelves that I tipped over on its side, and I cut out the front braces and I re-supported it. And this holds all my flat steel. And a lot of this flat steel I get from a local steel company, and I buy it by the pound. It's in their scrap pile, which works really well for me. It makes it cheaper, and I build a lot of things out of it. I also have some flat steel out front because I've been working on, of course, the BOV Blazer build. I've got to have hose reels. I got hose reels on both sides of the shop, 25-footers, so I can reach both sides of the shop all over. I've also got, and that air system actually goes to my air compressor. That is in the shop. Eventually that's going to get moved outside. It's one of my other projects. I've got to have the mini fridge. I also have a computer system because I like music in the shop, and I've got some large JBL speakers that are up in the shop. And those work really well. Alright guys, so this is basically my admin bench. I keep all my manuals, my schematics, a lot of different things I do. This is where I take notes and keep a lot of my paperwork. But also I use it, of course, as a workbench. And like I said before, I built pretty much everything in the shop off of either scraps, companies going out of business, just getting rid of stuff. I take all their scraps. I'm not really necessarily a scrapper, I'm just an opportunist. A lot of garage sales, things like that. So I actually built this bench, and like I said, pretty much everything in here, besides some of the shelves, of course, I bought on the market. I also like to take and make kits with my tools. I've got a body kit down here. Also got a tap and die set. I've got a welding kit. I've got electrical kits, testing kits, soldering kits. A lot of different kits, and that's kind of like, I like that because when I go do a project, I grab that kit and I have all the tools necessary to do the job. So let's go ahead and move on. These are out of old school. I got 6 of them all bolted together, actually on a cradle, on casters, basically wheels. And I can wheel this around the shop just for different projects, or I can wheel it out of the way to get something into my shop bigger. You'll also notice that as I move along through the shop that a lot of my stuff is on wheels, so I can do that very thing if I'm working on a big fabrication project or something where I need to open up the shop space. I can just wheel everything out of the way. Now in this, I just basically have a lot of product. It's where I keep all my silicone, Loctite, just different types of polishes, baking soda, all that good stuff. Works as a great product storage. And on the back side, I have all my painting equipment, from all my paint guns to filters to tape, all that in the background in a lot of my videos, and big snap-on up there and everything. I bought this probably about 15, maybe even 20 years ago, and it took me a while to pay off. And that was back then when you know, they didn't have a lot of options like they do now. Like, you know, you can get a sweet toolbox from Costco, you can get one from, you know, Home Depot or Lowe's, and they make a pretty dang good product. Of course, I'm happy to have this Snap-on box. I paid way too much for it, and just because it says Snap-on doesn't mean I have a ton of Snap-on tools. You know, I do have Snap-on tools, I do have Blue Point tools in here, but I also have all sorts of other tools. I've got a lot of Craftsman, Husky tools. I've even got Harbor Freight tools. You know, there's a lot to say about Harbor Freight stuff. You just have to make sure what you buy, you know, and you can replace it pretty simply. But I do have a lot of tools and old school tools, which I really enjoy, and a good way to do that is to go to garage sales. I do a lot of garage sailing and find a lot of great equipment out there that people are getting rid of, you know, that's been around for years. It's great, you know, back when they were really building nice tools. So that's just kind of a tip for you guys. I'm sure you guys already know that if you're a mechanic, to go hit some garage sales and find some lots of tools. Craigslist used to be good, you know, finding lots of tools and things like that, but now people are buying those lots up and then trying to resell them to you at a higher price, which is crap, but you know what, I guess that's what they do, and they make money off of it. Anyway, so let's move forward. Guys, so this is kind of my storage area. I've got almost all this entire shelving is the BOV Blazer Build parts and accessories that I've collected over the years. And again, I do a lot of collecting, and I get a lot of pieces and parts just here, there, garage sales. Of course, I did buy a lot of stuff for the BOV Blazer Build, but I've been working on that for 3 years. So this is all the storage pretty much for that, and you know, different stuff, different tools inside of there. I do back here, again, I think this was off of a estate sale. I got a big drawer set, which I keep all my nuts and bolts, extra equipment, you know, everything that's all my smalls, I guess you can call that. I've organized all that stuff in here so that I can find it quickly, and it works really well for me. All right, guys, so this is kind of the back corner, right side corner of the shop. I've got my actual wood stove right here. It's quite good size, and it keeps this shop really warm in the winter. It actually will run you out if you really get it going. I also have, you know, wood dollies. My back doors to my shop are actually right here, and I've got wood out back that I bring in, put it on the dolly, and it can roll it around. Like I said, a lot of my stuff's on casters, just like my petroleum products. You know, I've got a cart for that. I've also got a 55-gallon oil sump that eventually I'm probably gonna get an oil heater or something as well. And these shelves are pretty much just different projects that I'm working on, and storage for those products. Alright guys, so this is kind of like the middle of the shop, or kind of to one side. This is the only thing that I actually have bolted down. This is the Model 32 JD squared tubing bender. I need to bolt that down until I get the hydraulic attachment, so this will work good when I get into all the piping and everything on the BOV. Also got my Lincoln 225, I've got my Hypotherm, all that stuff right in here. Also in the background over there I have a bandsaw, so kind of a metal working area. Everything else is on wheels except for the JD squared. Right, so this is kind of monstrosity. I did build this probably about 5 years ago. It's really came in handy for a lot of different things, but this is basically my fabrication cart and workbench, if you will. So I'm going to show you some of the amenities that I put on this and do some close-ups, but this has pretty much everything most everything that I use for my fabrication, you know, grinders, a bench drill press, cut-off saw, my oxygen acetylene torch, and a whole bunch of stuff underneath. So let's take a closer look at it. So this is the grinder side of the house, and this is actually a cart. Like I said, it's on casters, and I can move this around the shop. It's not very easy to move, but that's the way I wanted it, so that when I'm working on it, it won't get away from me or move away from me. So it will move if I need it to, the entire cart, and that's just to get bigger stuff in the shop, like I said. Now, these grinders, I actually, instead of just solid mounting them, I've actually put them on runners, so I can pull them out and get bigger material inside those and push them back in out of the way, so that you know, I'm not running into them and things like that. Also, like I said, I've got a bench drill press. I use this one quite often, probably more than I ever use the stand-up model that's over in the corner. Also have a chop saw, and I've got a material. I've actually put an extension on this to put material in. I can move that in and out to put longer pieces of material for the chop saw. This is the workbench side where I've also got all of my different types of metalworking tools. I've also got under here, I've got all my drill bits, drill bit catalogs. I've got, you know, extra bandsaw blades. All of my grinders and my cutoff wheels are down here. Grinder attachments, all of my extra drill bits are all underneath, guys. So you also know you need a good vise. And I put this vise on here, which is really solid. Of course, I constructed this whole thing. But again, to get bigger material in, I put this also on a slider. So I can actually slide this out and I can get bigger pieces or material in the vise. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop myself right there. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I actually got some product sponsors for the BOV Blazer Build series. And no, I'm not gonna give you this big sales pitch and all this other you know, crap that sometimes people put out and say, buy this product. I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is, with the products that I'm getting for these companies, and one's from the Drill Doctor, and the main company is Drex, like I talked about earlier. But what I'm gonna do is, in the tips and tricks during the BOV Blazer Build series, which they sponsored with products, I'll stop and show you how to use this product, or tell you my personal opinion on the product. And if you know by watching my outdoor reviews that I give an honest review on the product. Now, of course, I've used the Drill Doctor before in a previous company that I worked for, and I missed it a lot. And they were kind enough to send me the Drill Doctor, it's an X500. And if you're like me, you got tons and tons and tons of freaking drill bits that end up getting dull. That's just what happens. And I've spent a lot of money on drill bits, and for $100 to redo my drill bits, I think one of my drill bit sets cost me $310. And if I could buy something that resharpens those drill bits and keeps me, you know, working. I do tons of fabrication, not just the BOV Blazer Build, but a lot of different fabrication. That's how I got a lot of this stuff, is I, you know, build stuff, sell it locally, I help people out, they pay me, things like that. And to have good freaking drill bits is really, really important. So later on during the series, in the BOV Blazer Build, when I'm doing some tips and tricks, we'll revisit this and I'll show you guys how to use it and move forward. But I'm really happy to get some sponsors. You know, it takes a lot to do what we're doing, you know, in YouTube. A lot of people think that, you know, oh, well, we just get all this money for being on YouTube, or you get all this gear. I don't get a lot of gear. I don't get, you know, hardly any money from YouTube. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because, you know, I really like to put out a message, and I like to talk to people, and I really, really love teaching. That's what I do also on the side, is a lot of different types of teaching. So, but anyway, on a side note, we'll get to the 500X here real soon, and I really thank Drill Doctor for sending that to me. And also Sharp will be another outdoor review that I'll be doing here real soon. So this is my woodworking side of the shop. It's the left side of the shop. I put a lot of this stuff up against the wall. Like I said, I got everything on wheels. I can move it out of the way, move my woodworking equipment out, do some woodworking, and then move it back. This has actually got, you know, my chop saw, table saw, band saw, sanding unit, table routers, and more going down the left side of the wall. So let's check that out. All right, guys, so if you made it this far, I decided to put a hidden giveaway inside of my video. This is what I'd like to call an MRE taster. As you can see here, I got tons and tons of different types of MREs. We got entrees, main meals, snacks. We got everything out of a lot of different meals. Everything is still sealed inside of its packaging, so nothing has been opened besides out of the main package. So there's a ton of different stuff here, and the only thing you have to do to enter to win is put I love MREs somewhere inside of your comment down in the comment block, and you're entered to win. And we'll do it in about, draw in about 30 days, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so like I said, this side of the shop is my woodworking area. I've got my woodworking tools that big woodworking tools that I can bring out. This is all the hand woodworking tools, routers. I've also put a bench in, so when I'm doing woodworking on this side of the shop, you know, I could put a bench that comes folding down, do some woodworking over here. And also, I have shelves throughout here that's also got more woodworking equipment. Alright guys, so you've probably seen this a lot on a lot of my videos, and this is my roll around fabrication cart. I have a lot of the fabrication tools on here, like magnets, clamps, all sorts of different things that hang off the sides. And it makes it really nice, so when I'm doing a fabrication project, it's easy to grab what I need and build that project. But I also use this as a regular workbench. Probably my most used piece of equipment or bench in the shop is this cart, and it's It's a great tool to have to bring to your project, do all your work, and then I can roll it over to my toolbox or wherever, put tools on it, roll it back and forth, clean it off and start another project. But I absolutely love to have this in the shop, and it's worked really great for me. All right, so you've probably seen this in my videos, I'm sure. This is actually a new addition to my shop. Somebody called me up and said, hey, come pick this up if you want it. I'm like, heck yes, I'll take it. You know, of course, again, it's on casters, and it was a great worktop, kind of a bench. What I did is I turned it into an actual electrical cabinet. So this is where I do a lot of my electrical work. I'm actually gonna put a built-in battery box in this and a test station. So when I'm testing my electronics, I have somewhere where I can test. So on this side of the cart, I've actually built, you know, wire holders for my different size and different gauges of wire. I'm also gonna build another one on the other side for some more gauges. You know, I've got 14, I've got 12. I'm gonna put, you know, 2018 on the other side. So that makes it really nice when I'm doing a project. I can get to everything fast, and works really well. All right, guys, so I probably missed something along the way, but I'm sure you guys got the idea. And those subscribers that wrote in and wanted to see it, I hope you guys enjoyed, and you know, of course, everybody else, hope you guys enjoyed the walkthrough. Down on the playlist, I'll put some other videos to the BOV Blazer build, put the channel trailer if you guys want to watch that down on the playlist. If you guys have any questions or anything, you know, go down to the comment block, let me know, or, you know, if you have any questions on the equipment that I have or that I built. Also, if you like these kind of videos too, you know, please give me a thumbs up. I mean, that really helps out. That's great. And also put my channel trailer here, BOV build, also right here. And if you want, go ahead and subscribe. I just really appreciate everything you guys do for me. All the support is great, and I'll catch you on the next video.